This is a great person who I met recently, and she was responsible for the Pink Collar Comedy Tour and Naked Comedy and a whole bunch of other things that we'll talk about. Please welcome Kaytlin Bailey. Kaytlin, how are you? Welcome. Come on over.
Just for decoration.
Those are some sea salt milk chocolates.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah.
I'm menstruating. So
oh, well, enjoy.
Yeah, thank
you. Now, last time I ran into you, you were moving.
Yes. Well, I think when the last time we ran into each other, I was homeless.
Yes.
And I was trying to find a place to stay. And I finally landed in an apartment, which was really brilliant.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's a huge life achievement to have a place to live. And my landlord, because I do comedy and I wait tables and I babysit and I do a bajillion other things,
yeah.
I have no way of proving that I make any money at all, which is fairly accurate. I make very little money. I'm a very poor investment from a landlord's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, he took 6 months rent up front. And a letter or an email rather, from my parents declaring me a good person, and that was all the paperwork I needed. And thank God, because otherwise I would not be able to qualify for an apartment.
Well, that's still 6 months, though. That's a lot to put out there.
Yeah, I borrowed, begged, and stealed, but I got it.
Well, congratulations. However you have to do it is the point. And as we're finding out, people move here with nothing but a dream, and it always inspires me. And you did move here from where exactly?
North Carolina.
North Carolina, and you were recently you sort of organizing for political campaigns and things.
Yes, I graduated from college and then I ran field campaigns for a progressive political consulting firm for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I quit that and I moved back home to study for the LSAT. And instead started doing comedy full time, and then got an offer here in New York that I couldn't turn down, and so I moved up here with nothing but a dream.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? But you enjoy that campaign work, or no? You always had this bug to do the comedy thing. You said you were not interested in the LSAT, so you must have had a desire to do something.
I definitely thought I wanted to do politics for the better part of a decade of my life, and I prepared for that. I did mock trial and debate and political organizing in high school and college, and then I
love mock trial. That was fun.
It's great, isn't it? It's so fun.
We had a real good-looking gal that was the instructor of that program. So
I had a crush on my lawyer too.
You see, that's what happens. Yeah. So much power.
We were the only smokers. I was 18. He was 34. We both took cigarette breaks together.
Smokers or snipers?
Smokers.
Oh
yeah.
Smokers. That's a little easier to achieve at that age.
Do you have a right to carry and conceal? But my aim is not good, so I shouldn't probably.
Well,
yeah.
It's good to check some things off. Figuring out our lives. Do you still draw from? Do you want to run for politics? That's what you do? No, just be involved in making things happen.
No, I didn't want to run. I wanted to be. I wanted to be a lobbyist. I wanted to be Cecile Richards. I wanted to work for.
Who doesn't?
Right. Yeah. Planned Parenthood or ACLU or be like a specific. Sort of like. Issue-specific advocate,
yes.
And become an expert on that, and then try to do local and then eventually national level, lobbying. But and then I didn't anymore, and that was really hard for everybody.
Were you a funny, aspiring lobbyist?
Everyone that I talked to in high school is not shocked that I became a stand-up comic. Everyone I talked to in college is very shocked that I became a stand-up comic. So I feel like I was funny. And then I became unfunny in the depths of being a political activist or really an ideologue of any kind is the antithesis of comedy. You're basically like a walking talking points person.
Yeah.
And very earnest, so earnest all the time. And so I went through that phase, and then I started sleeping with a comic. And then after you see somebody perform the same set like half a dozen times, I was like, oh, this is a stump speech with jokes. I could probably do this. So when I went back home, it's difficult for me to overstate how traumatic the campaign was. It's 120 hours for $20,000. I was in 12 cities in 18 months, and like I was the boss. And at 22 years old, I had like a staff of 106 people, and we like everything was my responsibility, and we did a lot of things that maybe we shouldn't have because the election becomes this like all-consuming goal, and so recovering from like the trauma of that, just the sleep deprivation alone, and then in addition the sort of like the blocks of my belief system that I crumbled while I was working in politics, it was like the worst breakup I've ever been through. So it felt, my body shut down. Like I just, like anything in that direction suddenly felt like poison. And so I started doing comedy, and I got addicted to the same drug that, you know, I think all comics are addicted to. And then and I moved here, and it's been nothing but terrible choices ever since. I mean, my life is in shambles. Like I can't, you know, it's a terrible idea.
Well, that's wonderful. And
I don't know what to tell you.
It could be worse. You could be a lobbyist. But,
yeah, it's true.
But what incarnation, and I say this without any judgment, what incarnation of Kaytlin are you most satisfied with, though? Because within your bio, as you even alluded to, you have done babysitting, you have done worked at waitressing, you have done this political thing, there's
sex
comedy, sex work.
Yeah,
I mean, all of the stuff that you and I have both done. It's what do you feel like is really, though, Kaytlin? Is it this moment now?
Me and my therapist haven't gotten here yet. I don't know.
That's what I'm here for.
I don't know. I feel most myself when I'm killing on stage, but that might not be true. Like that and coming. Like those are the two things where I feel like most.
Sexually is what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Orgasming. I'm sorry, I should be more specific.
Again, remember that ice flow.
It happens very rarely.
Every time you orgasm, that's a
you
nice.
You should do more of
that's
that.
Nice.
Yeah, just so the guitarist.
She wasn't talking to you, Sue. She was saying I should do it. Okay. Now, so you're still evolving, you're still figuring it out, and that's fine because you're a young person. But now we both have something in common, a couple of things in common in addition to sex work. But the idea that you're an only child.
I am.
Not even an idea. The fact that you actually are
an only
child. I too am an only child, and don't we deserve it? Isn't it wonderful, the sense of entitlement?
Has it ruined you for everything? It's ruined me for everything.
It's perfect. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Absolutely. It's really great, isn't it? It's informed your comedy, hasn't it?
I have my laundry sent out, and I don't take any shit from my friends, which means I have 4 of them. So it's, you know, like it's the worst. I mean, I've only been in a few like long-term committed relationships where the goal is to actually get to know the other person as opposed to just projecting your own bullshit onto them. And I feel like being an only child has really ruined me for a lot of that. Like it's really hard to.
Well, you don't have to compromise on anything.
Yeah, I guess I should find, what is it, the oldest or the youngest of like 8 kids? Like what's...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Would that be the way to go?
Yes, definitely. Or like the Duggars. There's 20 of them. That's a real experience.
I just need somebody...
Or inexperienced.
But I don't want them to be neglected because I can't do
They're all
that.
helping out run the family.
I can't overcome like a neglected kid. I don't know how to do that.
Now, what is the naked comedy thing all about? Because, again, something we have in common. I have been nude in various shows, some public, some private. But now, what is that all about?
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's stand-up comedy performed in the nude.
Well, good. And but that must be, you run it?
I do. I'm the new producer of it. It wasn't my idea.
Yes.
Anthony O'Feish has been running the Naked Comedy Show for years in Boston, and Abigalia, who's a good friend of mine, did the show here as part of her going away party before she moved to London, and it was so successful that the proprietor of Creek in the Cave, Rebecca Trent, said, "Somebody else do this," and I raised my hand like Tracy Flick, and I've been running it ever since.
And the audience is also nude as well?
They have the option of being nude. It is not mandatory.
They're invited to.
They are invited to be as undressed as they want to be.
I invited this audience, but I'm not sure that anybody took me up on it yet, but maybe later. But that must be incredibly empowering to be up there and be. I mean, I know because I've been in it and I got a lot of great laughs.
Yeah, it feels really good. I feel like being naked on stage is one of the. It's kind of an ideal way to do comedy because you're making the audience just uncomfortable enough that they're really on the edge of their seat, and you put yourself in a sort of a hyper vulnerable position. So it's great. Like I've never seen anybody bomb naked, and it's.
Would you guys try it?
Have you guys done it?
No.
No, from Julio. No, little alt folk nude. Unplugged, as it were. Not for me. And how often does that happen?
Once every 3 months, so we do one per season.
That's about as often as I'm nude anymore.
I didn't realize you were married.
Oh, no. Once I was, and she's a lovely, lovely gal. Well, Kaytlin, what's next? What's happening? You're off to some big industry thing tonight?
Yes, absolutely. Very important. I thought that was going to be a joke, but you guys took me very seriously.
We all believe you.
Sweet.
You do nude stuff. You're important.
Yeah. Oh, I'm totally. The next naked show is March 6th. We only have 4 tickets left, so we're almost sold out.
Wow.
For March 6th, and then I am doing a one-woman show in July at the Tank as part of Pride Fest. So I'm very excited about that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So that's what's next.
That's great. What's it called?
We don't know yet.
No, don't need to.
No idea.
Let them guess.
Yeah, you can listen to me every
Raised Plow is still available.
Wait, what?
Raised Plow is still available.
Isn't that taken? My Pulitzer Prize winner? Is that not? That sounds very familiar.
It might be something.
Heady and intimidating.
It might be something. Well, that's great. Well, I wish you all the best with all of those endeavors.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks.
Kaytlin Bailey, everybody.